Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Saturday, July 12th. Summer League is fully underway. Celtics just played their first game yesterday. If you want to hear us talk about that, go check out the pod. It's up on podcast platforms, it's up on the YouTube channel. We went over the game against the Grizzlies, the win. We'll still talk about it a little bit here in other contexts, but if you want our like full player by player breakdown of everything that went down, we're not going to like repeat all the thoughts here. That's over there. But we're here ready to talk Celtics basketball. How you doing, Sam?
Doing good, excited for the show today. It's nice to have Summer League content. It will be a little bit of a shorter show today, so those of you that like that, get a big W in your win column. Jackson, Vegas, busy day for both of us on Saturday, so we're going to squeeze it in here. We'll talk about the surprise addition to the Celtics Summer League roster. The Cup is back. We'll talk about the Celtics group stage and former Celtics guy being discussed as a potential return person. We'll see if it happens. We'll go through your emails, and then we'll do the rat list. Don't think there's going to be much NBA discussion today. There's not a lot going on, but just in general, not a lot of time. So stick around through all of it. Leave a like, comment. The likes really help us, and we would appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel because we are here every single day with new content. Full pods, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are back for Summer League. They're the morning after each game, and other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. But yes, Celtics did start Summer League yesterday, Jack, and it was a lot of fun to watch.
Indeed. And we can start with Charles Bassey because I feel like that's where a lot of people's heads are at. Charles Bassey was not on the Celtics Summer League roster leading up to everything, and yet he was there, ready to go. He was in Boston with the team too. We just didn't really know who he was. I didn't recognize him at first, and so I figured out who it was by the time he was suiting up and getting ready in warm-ups for the game against the Grizzlies. Played well, 14 and 11, 7 offensive rebounds, 2 blocks against the Grizzlies. He was the best center on the court for the Celtics. Amari Williams had his flashes too. He got the start, and then Bassey came in off the bench. But the impact was there. The Celtics obviously need a center going forward. I asked Charles Bassey about the process of signing or joining the team for Summer League. He said it was kind of a last-minute thing. My agent called me, and we got it done. Matt Reynolds said that he joined the team like on day one. Like he made a decision to join the team, so he was there for day 2, so he missed the first day of their like practices, etc. But he looked really good in the first Summer League game with the Celtics.
He dominated off the bench. I mean, he had 14 and 11. He was clearly like a step above every other big guy in the game. And we kind of touched on it in the post game recap, giving our thoughts on him. But in a Summer League setting, it's really easy for a big guy to go out there and dominate. Like, Jack, how do you feel about Neemias Queta? Not great, right? Like, you don't love him.
Yeah.
He dominated at Summer League last year when he was a part of the team. Like, he had a huge game against the Lakers at the big arena. Like, he looked like he was going to be a unit, and he looked like he might be ready to take a step up this year. And it never really happened. Luke was the guy the whole season, and then Nemi is left, and we all don't really feel great about it. Bassing going out and playing like that is all he can do. But I just think it speaks to the level of basketball that's being played at Summer League where you're not separating the guards from the bigs enough with like the skill gap in terms of like the guards aren't doing crazy shit that makes them just as valuable as a guy who can go next to the basket and dunk over everybody. Like the height is still super valuable and it's like a superpower at this level of play, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know how realistic or how like probable it is that the Celtics will actually sign Charles Bassey. I mean, just looking at the way it all transpired, like if they really, really wanted him, they could have just signed him by now. Like he could have been the signing instead of Luka Garza. He's been an unrestricted free agent. He could have been on the Summer League roster from the jump, but he wasn't. And who knows? Maybe there was, he was talking with the Spurs before they got Cornette and or Olynyk, so he might have been a return there. Or maybe he was talking to other things. But like the fact that he wasn't even like a blip, like a thought up to this point is like kind of telling. That said, I think the should they not of Bassey of it all is how much do you believe in Neemias Queta? And even for somebody like I'm not the biggest Neemias Queta fan, but I said this on the last show. Like I think the upside is there more with Queta. He's a bigger body. He's got a couple inches on Bassey. He's got longer arms. I think his ability to like raw ability to rebound and block shots is better. He's a little bit older than Bassey. but he's also been in the Celtic system for a couple of years. He has the chemistry with these guys. And so I think the ceiling is higher with Nemish Keita. The floor is probably a little bit higher with Bassey, just based on what we've seen at the NBA level from both of them. But the question is just, who would you rather invest in? And if you're the Celtics, maybe you would just rather invest in the guy you've already been putting your stock in. And like having them both on the roster is like a little bit redundant. Maybe you still want a little bit of extra depth, but at the same time, like, do you want to actually get a look at Amari Williams at some point in Boston throughout the season? I feel like he'll probably end up spending a lot of his time in Maine. I don't know. I was all in like yesterday on Basketball, like watching him play. I'm like, this is very clearly like a good center. But you take a step
Correct.
back, you realize what you said, like it's summer league, right? How much is this actually relevant? He hasn't actually played a lot of NBA games, like compared to what you would probably expect. Like he's been like a decent part of the rotation in San Antonio for each of the last years, but he's dealt with injuries and other stuff. He's never played in more than 36 games in a season. He played in 36 games in San Antonio last year. Before that, it was 19, then 35, then 23. Like he's never legitimately been in every night center. And if you're the Celtics, you probably want a guy who can be a little bit reliable. So I like Bassey. I thought he was really, really good. And I do think he is an NBA level big. I just don't know, like, weirdly enough, considering the state of their current center position, like I don't know how realistic it is that the center, like Celtics sign him. Like if nothing else, they just don't seem very interested. Like they were interested enough to sign him. They were interested enough to add him to the original summer league roster. Like it's just like there's too much smoke, and where there's smoke, there's fire. And I don't know. I like him. I think it would be worthwhile to give him a chance, even if you're the Celtics. He's only 24 years old. He'll be 25 for all of next season. Kate is a little bit older than that. I don't know if it'll happen.
The funny thing about Bassey is like they didn't announce him on the roster, which everybody knows because when we turned on the TV, or for you, when you showed up to the gym yesterday and you were like, wait, what? Charles Bassey is on this team? It was a surprise.
Well, I didn't. He was in Boston. Like I just didn't know. He was like a nameless person. I just asked somebody on the Celtics coaching staff, I'm like, who is that? They were like, oh, it's this. I'm like, oh, cool, great.
But they also didn't start him in summer league, so I think that's like another just I don't know what you would call it, like another
they're
feather in
prioritizing
the cap
guys.
of your argument.
Exactly.
I guess.
Yeah.
Like if he's not starting on the summer league team over Amari, who I think like everybody likes Amari, but yesterday like he didn't like knock your socks off. He was fine. He did what he was supposed to do. He did some cool things,
fine.
like the pass to Miles Norris was sick. He had a coast to coast play where he drew a foul. Like there were really awesome Amari moments sprinkled in that game, but they didn't really ask him to do a whole lot. The fact that like Bassey couldn't get in the starting lineup over him tells you a lot about where the Celtics coaching staff's mind is at, maybe where their instructions are at. And I mean, even more so because Bassey dominated. Like, I guess if you watch today's game as you're listening to the pod and he still doesn't start, that should be even more of an indicator. Maybe that Matt Reynolds makes a flip and is like, well, he played really well. He's earned it. If he doesn't, probably they don't see him as part of their future going forward. And even if they do, we could transition to this. One, where is he on the depth chart? Because we've talked about Nemi plenty. And two, the Celtics have 15 guys on the roster. Miles Norris is in the third two-way spot. So who is it that you're getting rid of to bring in Charles Bassey?
Or anybody else for that matter. Like you still have to imagine there's more trades to be made, whether it's Simons or Niang or Hauser or something. Like they're still over the second apron right now. They're not going into next season over the second apron. I'm just gonna like they're not. That's not going to be how it works. And you could say, oh, they can cut this player, they can cut this. Like they're gonna make a trade. Like I would bet a lot of money that they're gonna make a trade. Like it just makes too much sense for them to try to do it. I don't know if they're gonna full
You're
on
in the place
like,
to do it. Go down there
yeah,
and find somebody to give you a line.
I don't know if they're gonna like go as far as I don't know if they're going to go as far as ducking under the like luxury tax line, but it could make some sense. Like if they want to like reset their repeater tax, if there was ever a year to reset the repeater tax, this is the year to reset the repeater tax, right? Like you're probably not going to have the opportunity to do so again for a long time because of Jason Tatum. So like I think fans who are like, oh, you're not going to spend money. Like you also have to contextualize. Like they're going to spend a lot of money when Jason Tatum comes back, and so if you would like to reset that line of like being in the tax every single year, if there was a year to do it, it would be this one. Again, I don't know if they will, but it would make a ton of sense for them to reset that tax and dodge it this year. But I don't know, man. It's just like weirdly enough, they're in a roster crunch right now because their roster is kind of like in a state compared to past years. But I don't know. Like you could also theoretically, I don't know when they can apply for it. Like if you get a DPE for Tatum, maybe you add a player that way. If like a Bassey, like you can sign a minimum guy through that, like in terms of like just like getting an extra roster spot.
Actually, good
But
point.
I don't know. I like Bassey. I think he is worth exploring if you are the Celtics, considering how young he is. He's a bit. I mean, it's weird to say 6'10" is undersized for a center, but when you have 7-footers in Amari Williams and Amish Keita and like Luke Cornett was 7'1", whatever, like he kind of is a little bit undersized. Like I think the fact that Luke, I think Luke was like 7'2". I think the fact that he was 7'2"
Yes,
got
he
lost.
was literally the tallest North American basketball player in the league.
Yeah, I think that gets a little lost. Like you're not going to replace that height and wingspan and like presence. But regardless, I think Bassey was worth it. I'm just hesitant to say that the Celtics feel the same way, just based on the way everything is played out. Regardless, before we continue, I want to tell you guys about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action this basketball season, this baseball season, any season you are looking to get the action in on. Sam and I do the Prize Picks every single pregame show, so you can check it out there when the Celtics are playing during the regular season. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player props for a shot to win up to 2,000x your cash. Excuse me, it is early in the morning. Clearly, I'm still waking up. Baseball season's going on as well right now. That's where I've been getting my action with Prize Picks. The Red Sox have actually been on fire. Sedan Rafaela, dude, they've won 8 in a row. Wow, yep. They're back. I mean, it helps when you play the 2 worst teams in the MLB, but you take it any way you can get it. Sedan Rafaela. It's true. It's true. But Rockies Nationals is, I mean, the Nationals fired their manager and GM the day after they played the Red Sox, so not a deal. But regardless, Prize Picks. I've been taking the more on Sedan Rafaela. That's been the GOAT for me. He's been an absolute fire. Roman Anthony's always been fun too because he's the hot new rookie, but Rafaela has been a game changer. He's the new Rafi in my book. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Okay, next thing. The Celtics NBA, or I guess the NBA's NBA Cup groups are out. We can talk about them here. The Celtics drew probably the hardest group in the Eastern Conference, in my opinion. I think it's probably the toughest group in the East based on everything else. Philadelphia, Detroit, Brooklyn, Orlando. You have 3 playoff teams in the Nets. Like that's probably the hardest group in the Eastern Conference. The Cavs and the Knicks got split up into different groups. And the reason this is the hardest group is the way they do it is they take like sections of 3 in the standings. They'll do like the top 3, randomize who's in what group, 4 through 6 randomize who's in what group. But since Philly and Orlando both dealt with a lot of injuries, they were probably lower in the standings, and obviously Orlando made the trade. And so that has led to them being higher up, or just like happen to be in the Celtics group, but they're going to be better teams. So I don't know if you have the rest of the groups in front of you and you want to read them out, but Celtics group is probably going to be a bit difficult for them to get out of.
I'm pulling them up right now. Celtics do have a very difficult group this year, and it's too bad because first of all, I'm always going to be a Cup guy. I just think it's really fun. The Cup is such a funny event, though, because every year when this time of year when the schedule comes out, you have to be like, who won the Cup last year? Like, what was the team? How did it go? Who made the finals? Who was in the semis?
Right?
Yeah, it's the Bucks, but it just feels forever ago. It's so we're so far gone. The playoffs have happened. Everybody forgets. But anyways, also in the Eastern Conference, you have Atlanta, Cleveland, Indiana, Toronto, Washington, and then Charlotte, Chicago, Miami, Milwaukee, New York. So those are 2
that group
lighter groups.
Is disgusting. The Atlanta group's a little bit difficult, right? Depending on how competitive the Pacers are. Can you read it again? It's Cavs, Pacers, Hawks.
Wizards.
Raptors. Depending on how competitive the Raptors and the Hawks actually are, and the same thing with the Pacers, that could be a little bit better. The Knicks got the Mickey Mouse group, and this is not a shot. You get lucky sometimes in the Eastern Conference. That group sucks.
Mickey Mouse Cup group. I agree. And then in the West, you have Minnesota, OKC, Phoenix, Sacramento, Utah as Group A. Group B, Dallas, both LA teams, Memphis, and the Pelicans. And then C, this is probably the toughest group in the league.
Yes.
Denver, Golden State, Houston, Portland, and San Antonio. None of those teams is guaranteed to be out of the play-in range this year. Portland's definitely the worst of the bunch, but all of those teams feel like they've taken a step forward this year.
Yeah. Dude,
watch out
for the Western Conference. For the Western Conference, Thunderwolves got a huge Mickey Mouse group. Like
Yeah,
considering how many good teams are in the Western Conference, the fact that they got the Suns, Jazz, and Kings, that's kind of wild. Like those three should be split up into three different groups.
the beauty of the cup is though, like Minnesota and OKC are now like in a 1v1 duel in their group where they have to outperform each other in the other games. Like you have to try and beat the brakes off of all these bad teams worse than the other good team in your group does. So you can, one, try and win the group, or two, set yourself up to be the wild card team to move on. And I think that's like part of what makes it so fun.
All of this before Sabonis averages like a 30-point triple-double for just those 4 games.
He's a cup merchant. I can't wait till there's like 10 years of sample size and we can be like, this guy was the cup goat. Need to really like have like thoughts about that down the line.
Cup goat, man. The cup goat. Okay. Shout out the cup. Hashtag the cup.
Hashtag the cup.
Last Celtics thing before the email. Marcus Smart. I need to preface this. There is no Marcus Smart buzz. Like there's just not.
Well, there's people talking what if.
Okay.
That's it.
All of this spawned from somebody on Twitter who just like faux pause, or that's not the word. He like acts as if he doesn't. I don't even think he acts like he has sources. He just like treats his account and tweets stuff as if he does have sources, but doesn't actually claim to have sources. But people just take what he says as gospel and as sources.
He's kind of like such a good weird aggregator.
Yeah, he's like a really good aggregator, but it's gotten to the point where people just assume he has sources now, and he just doesn't. And he was like, "There's interest or smoke around a Smart return in Boston," with and like then all the
nameless, faceless Celtics accounts started tweeting it.
Yes,
so people are talking about it now.
Do I think it makes some sense, if not for nothing else, from a financial perspective, for the Wizards to say, "Hey, we'll trade you Smart for Simons"? Sure, like I get it, right? Could there be some semblance of a deal there? Sure. Outside of shedding salary, does it make sense to bring Marcus Smart back to the Celtics team? No. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I love Marcus Smart. He's probably my favorite Celtic ever. Why? Like, what's the argument for yes, for this makes sense? Let's do it. But I don't. But no. Like you're not achieving any tangible goals with that. Like, if you can accomplish vibes and shedding salary, yes. If you can accomplish vibes and adding to winning, yes. But like just doing a trade for this, like that's not how NBA teams operate. Like that's just not going to be how it works. And so I need to like. Sorry to be a buzzkill. It's not real. It's just not.
So I'm gonna explain a little bit more about why this is a thing. The Wizards now have 18 guys on their roster. They just signed Marvin Bagley, who, by the way, they traded for Marcus mid-season, and they just brought him back from the Grizzlies. They need to move some guys, and there's been discussion to whether or not they would like to move off the veteran players like Marcus and Middleton. They already traded Kelly Olynyk, and if they were to do that, could the Celtics be a suitor? Now, Jack mentioned the Simons trade. Simons trade financially would make sense. You would save $7 million in salary, but if I'm Washington, I don't really know what that does for me either, because you're just bringing in another guy who's going to take shots away from your young players and get in the way.
And also, people are like acting since like the Wizards are bad and they have cap space. They don't. Like they don't have any wiggle room.
No,
like,
they
I don't think financially.
Have the CJ contract.
But like Simons for Smart straight up, I don't think even works. Like I don't think that works financially for the Wizards. Like you would have to rope in another team to take on money somewhere and do other stuff and figure it out. And then what's the point? Because like I don't think the Wizards are like drooling over the idea of getting Anthony Simons on the roster when they just traded him in trading Jordan Poole. Like it's the same fucking player. Like they just did that. They just had that guy and they traded him for a vet. I don't think they're chomping at the bit to get their hands on Anthony Simons. Like I mean, I used him as an example when I was like, oh, teams with cap space, maybe they'd target him. But I like roster wise, I don't think it makes sense. I was just talking about teams that could have money and might want to overpay. Like. It just doesn't make any sense. Like maybe you could talk yourself into George Niang for Marcus Smart, but then you're adding salary.
You're adding salary. You don't want to do that.
So it doesn't make any sense. And I hate to kill the vibes, but like people just latched on to this random person on Twitter saying, "Oh, it could happen." Like there was nothing behind that. It was just a random person on Twitter talking about the idea, and everyone treated it as if like it's an actual idea.
So the trade avenue doesn't really make that much sense from a Wizards perspective. It makes a little sense if you want to cut salary if you're Boston. There is also the possibility that if they buy him out, people have talked themselves into him wanting to come back here. Now, I was like, oh yeah, that does make a lot of sense. I'm pretty sure the Celtics still aren't allowed to sign guys who get waived who are making more than the MLE. Like, nobody talked about this when the Dame stuff came out last week, including us, like, just completely, like, right over our heads. If you're over the first apron, you cannot sign a buyout guy who was making more than the non-taxpayer MLE. Marcus makes nearly $20 million. It's more than the 14.1 line. So to get him anyway, you would still have to trade Simons. And listen, if you do that and you trade Simons in a complete salary dump and you cut $27 million, you will be out of the luxury tax. And then you could bring back Smart on a whatever contract you want to offer him, where you can probably stay underneath the luxury tax. Maybe that makes the most sense. But then you need to find the team that would want to take Simons for free, and you're going to have to give up draft picks for that. And does Brad Stevens really want to do that? That's the next question. But there is an avenue to it. It's just weird that it still requires them to trade Simons because of the financial rules now.
I still don't even know if it makes sense. Like we're talking about all this roundabout way of like how could it happen, but like should it happen? I think is the even better question.
I don't know
if
it should. I don't think so. I think having Simons is somewhat valuable now. You can see at least what you have in him.
Even regardless of Simons, like I don't know if Simons will be here. It just makes too much sense for them to trade him. Like they're going to get under the apron. I think they might make a run at dodging the repeater tax and resetting that because like resetting it could be useful for when they're trying to add salary to the Tatum teams. I just think it makes too much sense for them to trade him. Like again, like I said earlier in the show, when there's smoke, there's fire, and there is a lot of fucking smoke around. They might trade Simons. I think he's probably not going to play for the Celtics. Who knows? Like maybe I'll be wrong, but regardless, signing Marcus Smart. Is he coming in to be your sixth man? Like, is he going to come like lead the bench? Like, obviously, it'd be phenomenal vibes. I would love it. Like, if I'll put it this way, if they trade for Marcus Smart, I would be thrilled. It would bring a smile to my face. I fucking love Marcus Smart. It would be incredible. I get, he'd be there at the games. It'd be cool to see him again. Like having him like the vibe. Like I would love it personally. Love it from a perspective of how would it help the Celtics? Like. I don't know. Like listen, as much as I love Marcus Smart, and like I said, love Marcus Smart, he's not that great anymore. Like he's just like the defensive player of the year, Marcus Smart we've known
since leaving.
He's never on the court. He's like his body is like wearing down a little bit. He's never been the greatest 3-point shooter, and like with the way the Celtics have adapted to playing, like how much is that going to be useful? It's almost more worthwhile for you to just play Baylor Shireman, play Jordan Walsh more minutes, get more run-in for these younger guys, see what Ugo's got. Like, in the gap year, giving 25, 30 minutes a night to a guy who, like, how much is he going to help in a few years versus getting these guys developmental minutes and Shireman, Ugo, and whoever else you, like, find and, like, figure out. Like, as much as, again, if they did it, I would love it. I just don't know how much sense it makes for them as, like, a team currently.
I mean, maybe it sells tickets. The problem is you really just don't know what you would be getting in him now. Because there's so much of a fall off from the player that everybody fondly remembers. Or most people fondly remember, like, probably 20% of Celtics fans fucking hated. If he comes back, you can make the case, like, oh, man, maybe he, like, helps you be competitive this season. And, like, is willing to do the little things that help you win games. Like, the old thing that used to be the sell for him. And if you're a Celtics team that is middling, kind of like they are, there's nobody that has been on more middling, overachieving Celtics teams probably than Marcus has. Like, he was a big part of those teams from 2015 to 2018 that really didn't belong or have business being as good as they were. And, he helped them do that, but he's also not in his early 20s anymore. So it's a question of that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Unfortunately, because like I said, I'd like it. Regardless, let's check out y'all's emails right now. A reminder, as always, you guys can email us at hptcpod@gmail.com. That's hptcpod@gmail.com. I believe we have 3 to go over today. First one from Jax. Thank you, Jax. Great name. I appreciate you. Jax says, venting, what is OKC doing? They gave SGA 70 million, and now they're going to give 50 million to Chet. That's $120 million to two players, not to mention the looming Jalen Williams extension that will most definitely be 50 plus million. It was. If they keep all them for 3 years, they won't be able to build out a 15-man roster. Everyone wants to talk about, oh my God, they have so many picks, they can be flexible. Try to be flexible with Chet Holmgren making 50 mil. I think they can be flexible. Like, if they're willing to pay the luxury tax and they're willing to go into the aprons and, play what's the limbo with the second apron year after year, like figure it out, like duck under and duck over and whatever you want to say. They have guys on great contracts: Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, Nikola Topic, now Thomas Sorvers on a rookie scale deal, AJ Mitchell just signed a 3-year deal. Like, they've got guys. They have Caruso and Hartenstein. You probably have to pick between one of them past next season, and if you can figure that out, you will, and maybe you sign one of them on a smaller deal moving forward. Like, listen, man, I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, because the real test of how willing they are to pay is going to be when they lose, as you saw. Like, everything's fine when you're winning, right? Everything's great when you win. And so we'll have to see what comes to it when that day comes, if they don't win or they don't repeat or they don't, et cetera, et cetera. They have great contracts for long-term money. Even the other Jalen Williams is on a solid deal. So I think they'll be okay. This is like the biggest test of luxury tax, like, limbo. Like, this is or apron, whatever you want to call it. Like, this is going to be the first real test for sure.
Yeah, big put up or shut up moment for the Thunder. This is kind of what we were talking about a couple pods ago when we had our big discussion about the second apron and like who really gets boned by it the worst. OKC is well equipped to stay afloat, as the people with the draft picks keep telling you, Jax, and as our Jack just told you, they do have guys who you can trust to play roles around those guys already, and maybe they can convince them to stay around, but if they don't, then it's going to get ugly. But at the same time, like, the point of this email was, why are they doing this? Because they have to. Guys aren't going to be like, you know what, I'll stay in OKC. No, like, they have to pay them. That's what happens to these small market teams. They don't have a choice. When they draft well, they have to give them every cent. And OKC's lucky that the guys that they've got, specifically Shea, is a guy that is undoubtedly worth paying. Even if the $70 million looks rough on the cap sheet, even if it makes it a little bit more difficult, like, you don't worry about him being a Zach LaVine contract. Like, he just won an MVP, won Finals MVP. He's at an age where it still feels like he's got some levels to go, or at least has a long prime ahead of him. The $70 million should not scare you at the moment. So they've done what they have to do, unfortunately.
And listen, if I'm the Thunder, my thought process is, if I have these three guys, I can probably contend for a championship. So we can figure out the rest later. And I tend to agree with them. They have two All-NBA players in Chet Holmgren, who is going to be a perennial Defensive Player of the Year finalist, because 1B exists and he'll never win. But shout out the Thunder. Next, chance for a new Celtics team record, says RJ. Evening, folks. Even enough with the doom and gloom. I wrote a piece for Celtics blog that looks at the possibility of setting a new record this year, and which one of 6 players might be able to do it. Yep, it's a teaser, but the article isn't too long. And a question for you: which of the news guys are you looking forward to seeing the most? Be well, RJ, who always tries to look on the bright side of life. Let's see. So many Celtics fans look at the year ahead of that Tatum as if it were a Jiroji Pal end of the world epic. Okay, I don't know these names. What is it? Most points per game by an individual Celtic on a team with a losing record. Jesus Christ, RJ.
I don't know if that is on the bright side. As much as you're trying to look on the bright side, this is actually really mean. Because Jack, do you think, if you had to put a line up, what is the odds of the Celtics being 500 or above? I know the right now over-under was 43.5 by a lot of books that put out the season.
I would bet they're above 500. I don't think they're going to be able to pull a 500 basketball team. Unless it is like a Philly situation, in the sense of, like, guys actually get injured.
One thing after another.
They start losing. Yeah. Unless there's like legitimate injuries. The Celtics aren't going to shut guys down. Like, I would be shocked if they actually end up doing that. And if they do, I'll be wrong, and that'd be fine. I think they'll probably be around like a 42 to 45 win team, if I had to put a range on it.
They have an opportunity to set the record. Just depends what you want them to do.
RJ says Jaylen Brown and Peyton Pritchard and Derek White are the obvious. Says Anthony Simons. Sam Hauser would be quite the thing. Our final reach is a big one. The most unlikely candidate of them all is JD Davis. I think that's very unlikely. Yes, I would agree that that's a very unlikely
Things have gone really wrong.
Yeah, if that's the thing. Some overheard Summer League hot takes. Afternoon, folks. Summer League 2025 got off to a fun start with the Cocktail Celtics. Love those coaching shirts. Shirts are very cool. Beating
I want
Memphis
him in a pair of
92-78.
shorts.
One game into Summer League means it's time to overclock the hot take engine. Some simple truths. Hugo Gonzalez is better NBA shooter than Cooper Flag. 4 of 12 overall, 3 of 5 on threes with the Spanish Flash versus 5 of 21 and over 5 with the lad who plays like a lobster. We can make all the jokes you want.
Told
Cooper Flag was
everybody
fucking.
about Cooper.
We can make all the jokes you want. Cooper Flag was fucking incredible to watch in person. He is so good. Amari Williams and Ryan Kalkbrenner had nearly identical stat lines. Just Amari needs 10 fewer minutes. True. Other thing, Kalkbrenner is an unbelievable, massive human. Opinion, best trade Brad has made was shipping Jaden Springer to Utah. In Springer's 37 Summer League season, he played 17 minutes, scored 0 points, and had a minus 18 plus minus. Yikes.
Feels a bit
inescapable,
punching down.
overheated, hot take conclusion. Brad Stevens is the best GM in the history of the universe. I see. All kidding aside, it's a good first game. Jordan Walsh finally looked like he had an NBA body and he played with NBA level confidence. Miles Norris shot well. Baylor Shyman and Kenny Lofton look like the roadshow version of White Men Can't Jump, where Woody and Wesley are setting up the sucker play. Looking forward to some Sunday's game against the Seersucker Knicks. Be well, RJ, who thinks coaching polos look like Midori pineapples. I don't know what that is. But he sent us a link. It is this. Oh, yeah. Sure.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I see it. Thank you, RJ. Any brief NBA thoughts before we go on to the Rat List? Any Summer League thoughts? We can do something quick if you like. Just anything you might have observed.
I just saw something that Tony Jones of the Athletics said Embiid hasn't done anything on the court yet. Not good for the Sixers. Not good for me, who's been like watch out for the Sixers to people. Like I went down to Delaware.
I think we got a fight earlier this summer.
Well, no, I went down to Philly territory and like I was like mingling with people and I was like, I think the Sixers be all right this year. I was trying to like make them feel good. I wasn't trying to be mean to them, but I guess I was. Also,
you never bet on the Sixers.
Hot seat you. Baylor.
Why?
Did you curse him?
No. He was rough, man.
He was not good since the TikTok.
He was moving all right. Like I thought the handling was solid, the rebounding was fine, the defense wasn't great, the shots weren't there. I don't know, man. I mean, this happened last year too. I said this on the show yesterday. Like I think he's just a very he's not a great shooter. Like he's a really good shooter, but he's not an elite 3-point shooter. And so if those shots start falling, it's gonna be like an avalanche of the feel's not there. My biggest thing from NBA. Jan Hansen, dude, Blazers, sick, fucking awesome.
Oh, you like
highlight of the day. Oh, it was like I didn't even care about the basketball. He was good. He legitimately was. He's an elite passing big, great post moves. So fun to watch him communicate because he's just screaming. He's like book like James Booknight, like go you over there. It's just like what the fuck. But
he doesn't really speak much English either, so that's even more.
No,
impressive.
He doesn't speak.
He has
English.
a translator.
He doesn't speak English. He's just screaming like there, here, this, like on the court. He doesn't like speak English. There were so many like fans from China in the crowd that every time he touched the ball, oh, and like got a block, oh, he committed the most obvious foul of his life, and the whole arena was like, what? Like, what do you review it? It was just like, it was so fun to like be in the.
He has aura, is what you're saying.
Dude, the whole like he has a massive fan base already. It was very cool, and he's like legitimately good. Like I understand the vision now. I was talking to somebody courtside, and I was talking to Nick Collis courtside, and he was like, I was like, were NBA front offices as surprised? And he was just like, not as much. And so I think it was just like a general understanding overall of like, if you like the upside, you take him, and if you don't, you don't. So I don't know, like, we'll see. He was fun to watch. He was very good.
I thought he was okay I was the one that did the Houdini profile for him, and I thought he was like not as good as the other big guys, but I thought there was something there. It just felt like a type of pick you want to take in the second round, not the first. But I'm glad he's doing well. Like he definitely does have the skills to be a fun, impactful player, and he's big.
Agree. He's very big. All right, we can do the Rat List quick and get out of here. What you got?
All right, you're gonna love this one. I I have refrained from telling you about this, despite really wanting to for a couple days. Ratless my parents. So, Jack, if you had to pick one thing that I complain about consistently at my home, what would it be?
I don't know.
Don't overthink it.
Them interrupting you or like coming in your room randomly or like asking you for shit.
The Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi, yes, of course. My bad.
For those that don't know, I'm moving in a couple days. And my parents decided they would like to
swear
buy
to God.
new routers in the house. Now. Less than a week before I'm leaving. I mean, I'm like happy, but at the same time, I'm actually like really.
I'm
like,
not. I don't think I've ever
insulted.
hated your parents more than this
Yeah.
moment.
I wanted to tell you so bad because I was like, this is gonna piss him the fuck off. Just like I was pissed too. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like now, I've told him for years the ones that we had were terrible. They did not want to hear it. And then I went downstairs the other day and they're like, hey, can you help us set these up later? And they bought brand new ones. And I'll tell you, did the playback yesterday, did late night with Jake, did the recording with you, did it today, no problem. The only weird thing about them is if I like turn my computer off, it needs a minute to like get connected to the Wi-Fi. Like it doesn't stay connected if it turns off. But I haven't had any connection problems since the switch. So this is pretty hurtful. Got to tell you.
That's ridiculous. That's fucking insane. What? I mean, the heat is just free. It sucks. It's awful out here. Like
I'm not there,
It's 100.
but last year it wasn't that bad because it's not sticky.
I don't care. It's
You-
100 degrees at night. It's 100 degrees at 9 p.m. Get the fuck out of here. Just get this is bullshit. It's unbelievable. I hate it. It's terrible. I don't like it at all. Outside of that, I don't know how much Ratlist I have. We went to go to a restaurant last night. It's like this all you can eat sushi place for like
Ooh.
$28. It was like not bad deal. We walk in 9:30 p.m. Yeah, sorry, it's an hour wait.
Whoa.
What do you fucking mean it's an hour wait? Fuck you. And so we just went to a different place. It was also
Just
fine.
12:30 here. Just absolutely
It's
crazy.
ridiculous. Ridiculous, dude.
The time
but
difference
yeah.
is always a trip. It's just so weird. Like the 3 hours is enough to put you at a complete different point of your day compared to the people at home. And
Yes.
like going to go do all you can eat sushi at what is 12:30 p.m. for your body clock because you are still probably somewhat on Eastern time because you only got there yesterday.
To a degree, yeah. Yeah,
Rat List.
I don't know, man.
Ratless is the fucker with the chainsaw just working out there at 7 a.m. today. Just woke me up. They got city people doing work down the street. I was awoken by just hammering away at the trees first thing in the morning on a Saturday. Don't appreciate it in the slightest. Really pissed me off.
Disaster. Just disaster, man.
What are we fucking doing?
I'll ratlist the Wi-Fi in this hotel room because they have like options, right? It is free. It is free. You can buy. You
Yep.
can use the free Wi-Fi, but you can upgrade if you want more than 5 megabytes per second, which is just unbelievable bad Wi-Fi. I don't think I've had too many connection issues this time, so like it's pretty okay. Like I
You've
think
been
it's
clear
pretty
for me.
smooth. So that's fine, but just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, just
That's all I got.
just the
Though.
ultimate fuck you to me. I hate packing. I've been packing to move. Like my room actually doesn't look
Packing
bad right now 'cause
sucks.
I've filled 4 trash bags of stuff. I'll tell you what, I did not realize how many different things I had on hangers in my closet that I just was not using. I have. I'm not gonna go get it because it's in my closet. Just a maybe stack this big of hangers that I just threw stuff away.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to packing. That's all I have though. We can get out of here. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and all that. Same. Take it out.
Thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you feel heading into Summer League Game 2. And again, leave a like because it does help the channel. We're here every single day with new stuff. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the one after each game, and other videos are here in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple as well. All pods and game recaps are up there for you. So if you want them, just follow. They'll go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're reading them every single episode. Big shout out to Jax and RJ who sent them in today. You guys have been excellent all off season. Continue to send in your summer league thoughts, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jack Simone NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.
Tic-tac-toe.